How about that Rapture? The Rapture. Yes, Rapture. Yes.
I'm Glennis comedian, perfect woman, and certified sad girl. I'm on a mission to meet and interview sad girls like me and destigmatize mental illness, all in the hopes of feeling a little bit better by any means necessary. We're all going through it. Let's go through it together. And remember, it's okay to be sad, girl.
This is Sad Girl Survival Guide, the show that explores rock bottom, breakdowns, and breakthroughs, one sad girl at a time. And today, it's only me, just one sad girl, doing something solo, trying a different format. Maybe we're going to vlog a little more. Who knows? But I'm putting on the hat, I'm setting up the camera, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we're doing and what's going on in the world and my thoughts on all of it. Okay, so this last week I've been pretty holed up. I felt like every day I just wanted to curl up and not think about what's going on. And I think it's because I've just been so engrossed by the news. The news has just been so loud and crazy and scary, and that makes me more addicted to social media than anything else. I've gone super viral before. I've had comment wars going off on my videos before, but nothing quite like a political pew, 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 to really sort of occupy mental real estate in a way that I truly wasn't expecting. I probably saw the video 50 times just because of how online I am, and nobody needs to see that many times. There's a lot of people who were like, hey, I saw it, you don't need to watch it. And to them I said, well, if you saw it, I kind of want to see it. Like, I don't take joy in it, certainly, but it's like the curiosity that is so insatiable. It's like watching a car crash, right? There's no way that I wasn't going to see that content only in 2025 is being pew-pewed in the neck considered content. But it's just been all encompassing in a way that made me notice, like, wow, I'm really like disengaging from the real world, which is probably what our current leaders actually want. They're like, you know what? It would be better if you just stayed home and dissociated. And usually, I'd say less. I'll stay home and I will zone out. But we can't be doing that. We can't be disengaging. People keep saying like joy and love are the revolution we need right now. And I'm inclined to agree, but it feels a little saccharine right now when there's so much violence out there. You know what I'm saying? Like the joy and love, like dancing in the street as resistance. It's kind of giving like, just vote. Or like that gif of Olivia Wilde, just like power to the people kind of vibes. Like it's just a little, it doesn't feel like enough. And it feels like a little performative. I don't know. This is not the most nuanced take, but just trying to explain why my brain has been a literal tornado for the past week or so. I perform stand-up, and I had 2 shows in the last couple weeks, and both of them were cat related. One of them was like a fundraiser for a cat who had a lot of medical bills, and then the other show was one that I run with a rescue, and there's cats roaming around that are up for adoption. And it kind of made me wonder, am I being pigeonholed? Am I being curtailed into cat comic? And would I have a problem with that if so? And I think the answer is no. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I think like there's this quote unquote insult that liberal women or feminists are going to end up like alone with 20 cats. And I'm like, honestly, that sounds pretty chill. If I had the option to just kind of opt out of society, not in that way, but like set up a sanctuary on a ranch, tons of animals roaming around. If I had the financial freedom to do that, I would do that. It's not an insult, it's my dream. So I just don't really understand and can't relate to people that have more money than God and they just want more, or they just want to hoard. Like, none of us is going to live forever. Like, you don't need more than $999 million. Really. You don't need that. And if you think you do, that's insane. And if I had that amount of money, you would never hear from me again. I simply would say, okay, bye-bye. I'm going to take this check and I'm going to go start my dream life, which is going to be soft and surrounded by animals. And maybe I'll hire a personal chef to like give me some really great meals. But after that, just buzz off. Like, why do these billionaires think that they should also just control everything? It's like, don't you have enough? Are you that like small pee-peed that you have to do this? Like, it's confusing to me why you need more. Why do you need more? You are empty. You are ungrateful for what you have. You thought getting rich would be the secret to feeling whole, feeling loved, feeling like you matter. And unless you're Elon Musk, there's always going to be someone richer than you. Like, give me ducks. Give me micro pigs. Give me cats. That is not an insult. In fact, if anybody who hurls that around has the means to make it possible sooner, Venmo me. Literally Venmo me. I don't know if there's a Venmo limit, but send me money and I will get started on that. And you never have to hear my feminist views again, God forbid. So in and amongst all of this, and I'm not a doctor, I will never give you medical advice. I am just sharing my own experience. In and amongst all of this, the kind of social isolation, the kind of finding my footing again out in the world, I did start taking Lexapro. Yes, ma'am. Lexapro 5 milligrams. And I'm also on 300, almost at 150. No, 300 milligrams of Wellbutrin. And the combo is lit. Yes, it is. It rocks. Okay. Wellbutrin, if you've never taken it, can be a little stimulating. Of course, everyone's experiences are different, but it can be a little stimulating. So they don't usually recommend it for anxious people. I'm very anxious, but I'm also depressed. Some girls really do have it all. So I was still feeling a little anxious on the Wellbutrin, and so I added in Lexapro. And let me tell you, it rocks. The two of them together, they are sisters in kind, okay? One's a little up, one's a little down, and together they're doing a little dance in my bloodstream that's made me really quite happy, dare I say. dare I say, happy. Like feeling pretty level, not feeling this like anxiety and dread that I used to have before like social events or shows. And, you know, I know they say not to look up medical advice on reddit.com, Reddit the app. But of course I do. And in spite of knowing that everyone's experiences are different, I still like to read everyone's experiences, good, bad, neutral, scary, insane, all of it, because I think it's helpful. And what I like about Reddit is that people tend to actually be quite sincere in a way and honestly inclined to be helpful. Which is crazy for the internet, because if you're a jerk in the comments, you just get downvoted. So I read probably every single post that there was to read on Wellbutrin, on adding Lexapro, and there was literally one that just said Wellbutrin and Lexapro is lit, and I was like, say less. My friends were like, every hot girl you know is on Wellbutrin and Lexapro. I was like, say less. So every time I've started a new medication or gone up in dose or whatever, it's been helpful to see that stuff and read about people's experiences. And of course, it's not medical advice. Can't stress this enough. Reddit is not a doctor. WebMD is not even a doctor. WebMD, his suffix isn't MD, it's .com. Don't go to WebMD. Or do go to WebMD, but also go to a doctor. And it's so funny because the medications that I've had the most like checkered journeys with have been the medications that have the most like individual experiences. Like there's no way to tell if a birth control is going to suit your body. There's no way to tell if an antidepressant is going to suit your body until you take it. And then you either find out like, oh, like it's having a positive impact, or, oh God, now I'm extra depressed and my head hurts and my boobs are sore. That's kind of all of them together, lumped in together. I don't think Wellbutrin made my boobs sore, but I bet somebody on Reddit had that experience. Don't go diagnosing on there, certainly, but if you want peace of mind and you're kind of a rabbit holer like me, peace of mind, maybe not. Actually, it's not going to give you peace of mind. It's going to give you everyone under the sun's experience, a lot of which is bad. Like, you know how reviews tend to be either really, really good or really, really bad. I think a lot of people who have totally fine experiences don't go running to Reddit, you know? So take that with a grain of salt, you know? I started seeing a new therapist and I'm pretty sure she's Gen Z, which that's fine. That's totally fine. It honestly is, even though I can sense a little bit of like her greenness, because in the past, I've only ever had therapists that were quite tenured, okay? I'm talking tweed jacket with elbow patches, you know, and they slammed the dialectical behavioral therapy workbook on the desk in front of them for me to take home and get to work. But I took a chance on this new therapist. I found her on ZocDoc. She had great reviews. Again, grain of salt, but they were all really nice, really positive. And she's very warm and is challenging me on things that the other therapists haven't really challenged me on before. And I'm finding that even just laying out my extremely complicated and anxious thoughts about everything and challenging them is lifting them off my shoulders. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Talking about your problems helps, you guys. Talk about them. talk about them out loud with a licensed professional, if you can believe. And what I like about the fact that she's Gen Z is that I think, like, you know, I feel like social media is a necessary evil as a content creator and a comedian and someone who's aspiring to be in entertainment. And she understands social media in a way that someone with a tweed jacket and elbow patches couldn't possibly, right? Like, they would understand it in the abstract, but not the reality of having grown up online and feeling like in order to participate in society, you should be putting out content. And I've had a lot of hang-ups in the past and inconsistencies. Like, sometimes I get a lot of momentum and I'm like, yes, post. Look at me and see me out there. And then other times where I go dormant and then the algorithm sort of punishes you. The algorithm puts you over its lap and spanks your bare ass until it's bright red because you decided to take a couple months off, God forbid, and now you're in 300 view jail. You didn't engage with the community enough, so you're not going to get shown to them. And it's hard to reconcile because it's so not human. It's so weird. Our online presence is a digital proxy for ourselves. And to feel like your self-worth is connected to views, likes, followers, that's bad. It's a trap we're all in. Like, I see people treat people completely differently based on how many followers they have. That's weird. That's Black Mirror shit. That's like social credit score. Ugh. Like, just be kind to people regardless. And by the way, just because someone has 300,000 followers or whatever doesn't mean they can do anything for you. Doesn't mean they're happy. Doesn't mean they don't have going on in their life. We're always going to be chasing something and moving the goalpost. And it feels so futile. And I was trying to articulate the futility and the dauntingness of creating a thing, the dauntingness, dauntedness. I'm daunted, okay, about creating a project and feeling like, you know, it takes time to build. And she just very rationally was like, well, what if you just keep creating until your audience finds it? And I was like, wait, what? Like, feeling like, oh, it could be that simple. And I'm getting in my own way and not even letting myself try because it's a self-protective mechanism. Like, your ego would rather be safe and comfortable in the familiar than potentially exposed. Your body doesn't know the difference between danger, a threat, a lion running at you, and posting a video that might bomb. I mean, it's a little bit different, but sometimes it feels the same, you know? Sometimes it feels like you're going to be so mortified if something doesn't pop off. But if it doesn't pop off, nobody saw it, girl. How about that Rapture? The Rapture. Yes, Rapture. Yes, Rapture. It's alarming that so many people in this country are experiencing religious psychosis. The Rapture? The Rapture. Okay. And we're aware that the word rapture doesn't show up anywhere in the Bible. Sort of just a made up potential event. I kind of wish it was real in a way, because isn't the premise that they're going to be raptured up, like sucked up into the sky? There's people who are quite literally saying, once you're ascending, just give in to God and just enjoy the ride. Huh? What? And listen, I know people conflate MAGA, religious people, whatever. These are different populations. There is some overlap, of course. But I'm like, let's just say these are people who like what's currently happening. Baby girl, you're not going to get raptured. I'd be surprised if your dog gets raptured. That's how bad you are. That's how not aligned with Sir Jesus Christ you are. That's crazy that you think you're going to be raptured. These people who embody the there's no hate like Christian love, or no love like Christian hate. I think both work. Both work. As someone who has lost an immediate family member, I'm not so convinced by Erika Kirk's grief. I'm not totally buying it. Baby girl, first of all, the proper attire to mourn is black. That's proper. And I get it. Maybe you want to wear white. You want to seem virginal, angelic, transcending above the circumstances. But it's weird because it seems like you're branding yourself, that you're going on a little press tour for your deceased hubby. It's weird. And that memorial event looked like WrestleMania. The pyrotechnics, honey, what was that? Choreographed crying? Fireworks? Now, I understand that you might want to keep things lighthearted, a celebration of someone's life more so than, a sad, morose, dour funeral. I get it. Why did it have to be held in an arena? Are those all your closest family and friends? Or are you making a fast buck off of the... And look, she might be in shock. It's only been a week. Everybody grieves different. But I know that if I was grieving, I would want people to leave me the fuck alone for a little bit. You know what I mean? I certainly wouldn't want a side hug from the president. Denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, acceptance. I think maybe she's in the bargaining phase, but by bargaining, she means making as much money off of this as she can, profiting as much as is viable off of people that are in denial about what their views really mean? People who never read history books and are repeating it. It's so weird. They were already worth $12 million and then raised like $4 million on a GoFundMe. Girl, you just increased your net worth 33% after your husband died. Okay, this is not going to be a conspiracy theory channel, but it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. So I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been the first little solo sad girl survival guide. I'm going to aim to do this every week. If I say it, I have to do it. I'll don the little hat. I'll ramble for 30 minutes and I'll try and get something up. And of course, I'll have more interviews with comedians, the girlies and the gays about their sad girl survival journeys. Please like, follow, subscribe. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as @the Show and sadgirl_show for the Sad Girl Survival Guide show. Bye, sad girls.